Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Court Cutting TV, Bluford's Tax Preparation, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, Casa Samtonieta Indialapa, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, John Boutique Hotel and Co-work, Montzon Brewing Company, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get-together live here on Facebook and on YouTube, where we take a look at news from our city, Puerto Vallarta, and our state and our country. We take a look at things that you bring to the table, your comments, your questions, your ideas. We combine all this in the best way possible to connect with each other and with our city. It is a pleasure to see you. Today is Saturday. And it's a good thing because it's been a really warm week. It is Saturday, August 9th. I'm looking forward to chilling for the whole weekend. And I hope you have great plans for yourselves. We have a few bits of news that I want to share. And today we continue our exploration of Mexican cheeses. Today we're going to talk about Panela cheese. And we're going to talk about how to eat it, where to buy it, and where to order it if you want to find a restaurant that has the best. Well, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let me just get started with our news, which are not plentiful, but it is that time of the year in which even the news seem to move at a slower pace. This is good news, taking advantage of the fact that it hasn't rained that much in the city for the past few days. The municipal traffic beacon personnel have been deployed to several major avenues in the city to carry out their work, painting arrows and pedestrian zones and sidewalks and all that good stuff. And they will continue to do this at night to minimize traffic disruptions. The article that I'm referencing claims that a total of 1,670 meters of pedestrian walkways were repainted just last month. So it's nice to see that the city is keeping busy in keeping us safe. And speaking of keeping us safe, a large snake was found in a condo building in Marina Vallarta a couple of days ago. A report was made, and members of Puerto Vallarta's Green Patrol managed to secure and relocate the snake without harm. And if you are thinking, well, Paco, show us the snake. Where is the snake photo? Well, you got me. I was hoping for a snake photo too, but this is the only photo that was published in the news item. What can I tell you? And I also want to tackle this a little bit as a conversation. First of all, this is an article where we learn that Francisco Vizcaíno, who's the president of Coparmex, which is the Employers Confederation of Mexico, it's a large union of business owners, he says that Puerto Vallarta is seeing low incomes and a notable decrease in tourist influx in restaurants, in particular in the tourist areas of the city. Now, this is not new. It's been happening everywhere, and not only in Puerto Vallarta, it's been happening in Mexico. It seems to be happening elsewhere. People are just not traveling that much, at least not visiting Puerto Vallarta that much. And I've had interesting conversations with restaurant owners about this. Some restaurant owners are eager and able to come up with interesting strategies to improve their sales. Other restaurant owners are not doing that and they're struggling. Yesterday, I had the pleasure of having dinner with some friends at Vagabundas here in Versalles. And the beautiful thing about going to restaurants this time of year is that you see, even when sales are slow, you see the restaurant owners more relaxed. Here is Jules Villafana with her team, and we had a great time conversing. Um, what is Vagabundas doing? For example, well, they have reduced their menu for the summer. And in fact, Jules told me that she's bringing her full menu little by little in a series of events that we'll be so very happy to promote. But it is interesting for me to see how so many restaurants rely so much on tourism, whereas other restaurants have quietly and steadily endeavored to cultivate a relationship with local clients, whether we are English speaking locals or we are Mexican nationals. And to that effect, I will be the first person to admit that, for better or worse, there's like a half a dozen restaurants that I love, and those are the ones that I keep going back to. But maybe this is the time for us locals to consider, checking out other restaurants if possible, if our budget allows. So do keep that in mind. I think in moving forward, and this is just speculative, I think a lot of local businesses are going to increasingly turn their sight on the local buyer and also the Mexican national buyer, and not so much focus on tourism, at least not this time of the year, anyhow. What are you doing with your restaurant habits? If you are in town and you would like to tell me what you're doing, what is the restaurant that you're going to? Maybe I can tell you some of my favorites. You can tell me some of yours, and we can check out some other places, which would be good for everyone. Let's take a quick look at the weather to see what's going on out there. When I torture you, this is what Snarky Weather says. When I torture you, would you prefer thumb screws or the heretics fork? Well, I don't want either one of those. All I want is a little bit of rain. It is 29 degrees out there right now. Humidity is high at 74%. And our weather forecast tells us that today we can expect mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon. A chance of rain of only 31%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. Then tomorrow, Sunday, we can expect clear skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 63%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. And then Monday, mostly cloudy skies in the morning with thunderstorms in the afternoon, a chance of rain of 79%, a high of 32, and a low of 24. I have good news and not good news to continue with what we have for today. The good news is that Lázaro Cárdenas Park is bound to look more colorful later on this month thanks to a free balloon decoration workshop organized by Puerto Vallarta's Sexual Diversity Office, which is located right at the park. The workshop will take place from August 25th to 29th, and that's the good news. The bad news is that the workshop is already full to capacity, but it's bound to be a nice sight if you happen to walk by Lázaro Cárdenas Park again between August 25th to 29th. And with all that said, I want to dive into cheese again. And we're going to talk about Panela cheese. And it all starts with one of these. This is a no frills, very inexpensive plastic strainer that you can get at any supermarket. And this is because Panela cheese is made in these baskets. Let me show you a photo of it in case you don't remember what Panela looks like. There it is. In the world of Mexican cheeses, few are as versatile as queso panela. It is white in color. It has a smooth texture. It's mild and slightly salty, but it is a staple everywhere you go in Mexico. It can be traced to central Mexico, where cheesemakers began shaping it into the round, flat wheels we recognize today. Um, and the name panela probably comes from the word pan or bread because of the bread like shape. Um, and what sets panela apart is its resistance to melting. Panela cheese doesn't melt. Other cheeses collapse, but panela simply softens and takes on a golden crust when you bake it. Well, so it's a great cheese to grill, or you can just cut it into little cubes and serve it as an appetizer. And you can also find it in salads, for example. It is healthy, and a lot of people make it at home. And probably my favorite way to eat panela is in a taco, a refried bean and panela taco. And you're going to think, who goes to a restaurant to order uh, a panela taco? Well, I do. I do. And there's a great place to try panela. But even before we go there, where do you buy panela? Panela is another one of those cheeses that you can find at the supermarket, but somehow I'd rather get it from artisanal sources. So I find my panela in places like the Mercado Emiliano Zapata with the same cheese lady that I get queso Oaxaca from. Um, El Tubito, the head of the municipality of Cabo Corrientes, just 1 hour south of Puerto Vallarta, there are a lot of people that make panela in El Tubito, so you can buy fresh panela there. Um, and again, there is a great restaurant here in Colonia Versalles called El Puerco de Oro. It's a taco place. Everything is made with pork except for their panela with refried beans tacos, which are very affordable and absolutely delicious. So you can try to make panela if you want. There's a lot of YouTube videos. You can buy it at the supermarket, but I would just take a chance on any one of those panela vendors that you're likely to find at municipal markets throughout the city, and it's just yummy. It is absolutely yummy. Give it a go. Let me know what you think. And again, if you want to go to Puerco de Oro and order a panela taco, panela with refried beans, oh my God. It's such a simple food item, but it's absolutely delicious. And with all that said, let's see what you are thinking about this morning. Let's take a look. Pum pum pum. Lots of good mornings. Lots of good mornings. Thank you very much for that. Leslie says, I love the food trucks. Do you have a favorite? No, I don't. I don't even know. I mean, there are food trucks at the food truck park. I haven't seen other food trucks around the city. So if you have a favorite, Leslie, please feel free to share it with us so that we can find out about this. Paco, would love to hear of your favorite restaurants. I have quite a few, but always enjoy trying new places. I'll tell you what, I will put a list together of restaurants that I've been going to repeatedly in the last few months, and I'll be happy to talk about them. And I would be so happy to hear about yours as well. Claude, it is so good to see you, my dear friend. I am so sorry for your kitty loss. I'm sending you and Lucas many, many hugs. Soco's Place, Moro Paraíso, and La Ruta are a couple of our favorites, says Claude. I've been to Soco's Place once, and it was absolutely yummy. Moro Paraíso, of course, is one of my favorite places to go to, up on the river, up by the river, rather. Thank you very much for that. Why don't more people like the video knowing you will get a little money for each one? Well, it's I don't know, Suzanne. I try to encourage people to do that, but there are different kinds of YouTubers and people that use social media to like the way I do. Some people are very persistent in making sure that you like, and they repeat that a lot. I, for better or worse, tend to be more subtle. Like we only have a few reminders, like this one, for example, that I like to put on the mix every now and then, usually towards the end of the broadcast. Um, so I don't know. All I know is that every time you click like, you increase the odds that people are going to find my videos, and it is much appreciated. Let's see what else we have. Susan says, I love the info on cheeses. Thank you so much. Well, we've done queso Oaxaca, we've done queso Chihuahua, and we've done queso Panela. And there's a couple of other cheeses. Oh, one more thing about queso Panela. This is a rarity, but there are some people that Panela is a very moist cheese. But some panela makers actually leave it to dry. I don't know exactly how they do it, but every now and then you do find someone that sells panela seca, dry panela, and it is absolutely yummy. It's not as common, but I love panela seca as well. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. Gina, we haven't seen you in a while. It's a pleasure to see you. Thank you for stopping by. Angelica loves panela. That makes two of us. But again, I don't buy it at the supermarket. There's a truck. There's a torta and taco place right across the street from my house, and there's a truck that comes by on Thursdays, I believe. Every now and then I hear the truck, and they sell panela cheese. So I just go downstairs, or sometimes I'll ask the people that have the taco stand to just holler my name so that I can find out when the panela truck is around. Devin, when we're there, we usually like trying some different places. Our regular places are Vagabundas, Fuego in Versalles, a sports bar in Milan. I can't remember the name. Noah's Cafe for breakfast. Noah's Cafe is absolutely wonderful. Let's see what else. Yes, Claude says you can find some nice cheese up here in the mountains. Truly ranch, made fresh. Next time I visit you, please tell me where to go so we can buy some cheese together. It is actually, there's a place when you're coming back from Mascota. We were just there a couple of weeks ago. There's a little farm, and they have a tiny little sign on the highway. And you go in, and there's this lady that makes cheese, and it's a required stop for me. Let's see what else. Lucas, it is great to see you this morning. And again, I feel so sorry that your baby kitten is no longer with us. Your baby kitten had a lovely life. Let's see what else we have. I love Travasi. Greg offers a 20% discount to full-time residents, and the food and service is outstanding. That's good to know. Thank you very much, Laura. And Lee says you can always find great panela in small and large sizes at the cheese and dairy vendors at the Palmar de Aramara Mercado. This is absolutely true. I've shopped for cheese there, although my whereabouts usually take me more frequently towards the Emiliano Zapata area. So that's where I've been buying my cheese. So my invitation to you is, if you're out there and you see a cheese vendor, just buy them. Give them a try. You can't go wrong. It's absolutely a wonderful way to support small manufacturers and to support small businesses. And it's a great way to explore some of our more traditional food things, cheeses. And with that said, I think we're done for today. Again, not a lot of news, but what can I tell you? Hopefully, this coming week we'll have more interesting things to share. I'm going to be doing some walking this week so that I can stay ahead of the game when it comes to days like today, where the news are a little bit slim. As always, I thank you for your company. I thank you for your comments, your suggestions, your ideas, and I wish you a most amazing weekend. Have a good one.